Hello, everybody. Today we will talk about leaders, coaches, and AI role for driving successful digital transformation. My name is Sari Alander, and I work as a lead agile coach in OP Financial Group, and I have also role as a DASA ambassador, and that's why I'm here. And then I have Hans here, please.
Welcome to DASA Connect. It's an honor to be here with you today. My name is Hans Ekman. I'm a Principal Research Director with the Infotech Research Group, and I'm based out of Atlanta, Georgia in the States, and joining you from there today. Excited to be here. Thank you.
So, today's topics, we will be discussing why transformations are failing and how many of them. A little bit expectation towards leaders. So what can be needed actually and what expected from the leaders and how coaches can help, and also how important teams are as basic building blocks in the transformation. And then, of course, we can't do this without AI. So a little bit discussing about ChatGPT 3.0 and what that can offer in the transformations. And some final thoughts from me and Hans as well. And then let's get to the next. So
Sorry, can you elaborate? Why is it so important for us to speak about the role of leader and leadership and coaching and AI to drive transformations today?
well, I think this answers perfectly. Transformation are failing really, really badly. All recent researches show that even the best research shows only 26% of success rate. So most of the transformations are not actually getting the value for the company, not the benefits out of what they are really looking for, what they are expecting to get out of it. So that's why we need to talk about it. And reasons behind there, we have those reasons are a lot about leadership alignment. It's a lot about strategy and objectives, which are not clear. There's a lot related to employees, how skillful, how capable people are for the new world, for the new digital way of working. And also collaboration is one big theme around there.
So, sorry, do you think that part of the problem is if we focus on technology and the technology part, that's already difficult and challenging? But are we missing the opportunity to focus in on the people and the process aspect where this leadership and this goal setting is so important? How could we line up our expectations with our leaders to make these transformations more successful?
Well, in my opinion, there's two big areas. There is really about this mindset change in the leaders' thinking, and then there's really core skills. So there's more need for leadership than the management, and in many cases it's not that clear. I think the people who are actually driving and leading the transformation. So mental knowledge, which I mean the mindset change, is like managers or leaders, they need to be ready to be vulnerable, and they need to trust all their people. And it's hard. It's really really hard. I used to have a manager who said that our transformation is all about that I have to trust so much that I'm so scared about it. And I think that's it. I mean, as a leader, you will be scared in some point. And then the hard skill, of course. Okay, no one can succeed like 100% in the communication. We know that. People are always not that into about it. But we need to try, definitely. Then the strategy, it's very important you understand why you're doing the transformation. And then it's just learning the new skills and accepting that, okay, as a leader, you don't know everything, but you will learn, and you are ready to learn. All right. So how actually?
So isn't that why people are joining us today at DASA Connect, to help build those two important factors? So DASA provides an amazing leadership framework that can help teams and thought leaders mature those skills and abilities. Can you walk us through some of the key components of this model and how members can take better advantage of it?
Yeah, let's look at it a little bit closer. So it's extremely important to actually kind of understand that leadership is like a whole bunch of things, and there is this areas of 3 different areas describe it in DASA model, which is like really personal things, like I mentioned, those mental parts a lot, like vulnerability. And I like especially this leaving the ego home, because many of the managers and leaders, they actually come to the leader position because they know a lot and they want to lead the people. And so sometimes it's very hard to show that, okay, I can be wrong as well, but to be successful leading the transformation means that there will be specialists, people who know more about the certain things, and that's okay, and accepting that. So personal leadership, then there's facilitative leadership and transformational leaderships, which both bring these people and leadership skills really core on managing and leading the transformation forward. And this DASA model gives an idea, help people to understand that where they are in their journey on being successful transformation leaders. And DASA can offer this model, and also the DASA DevOps leader training helps people to find the skills, improving their skills, all these areas which are needed.
So sorry, I imagine that I could score myself for each of these skill areas, see what my perceived maturity is, and then turn to the training and other support opportunities to help focus on this. Because I know from myself, whenever I'm taking these assessments, we all wish we could be in that outer band and really perfect at everything. But I like to take a very honest assessment of my skills so that I can focus our limited time on those areas that can make the most difference. How have you used this model before in your coaching roles?
Well, I'm also doing the training, the DASA leader trainings. And I have asked all the participants that, okay, they do this rating for themselves. And then they ask their leader colleagues to fill in the same rating for them, so that they get understanding that, okay, how others actually see their skills and compare to how they are feeling they are. So I feel that is actually giving a better understanding of the kind of real skills levels. And I have found also that if I'm training, the management team, where the people are working together, when they do this, it actually helps also them to bring more team, because they learn so much about themselves and also their colleagues. So it's helping in many ways in those occasions.
Wonderful. It's great that DASA has this model available to its members.
Yeah, that's great.
So, Sari, what do you think about the role of Agile DevOps coaching in these transformations? So we talked a little bit about the difficulties in transformation, the high fail rate, thinking about my own leadership, but how does coaching play into this discussion?
Well, this is like my favorite topic, of course. Sorry, but this is where I'm really, really like thinking that we can really save the world in a way, together with leaders, of course. So there's many areas in coaching, and you can see there are lots of different bubbles with the different information or kind of role. And I have put in the middle the very big bubble about hands-on expert, because I believe that coach has to know the things by heart, or really have experience on how to do things to be able to help the leaders and the people in the organization. So if you want to be a good coach, in my opinion, just learn the things what you need to do as a coach, and then there is this big bubble picture coming with the kind of bigger bubbles. I have put here the modeler of behaviors and reflective observer and truth teller, because again, they're not more important, but these are the, I think, the hard areas in coaching, because they are like continuous work. They are always there when you do the coaching. And for example, modeler of behavior, for when I do the coaching, I really make the agreement with the leaders I work with that, okay, we both need to understand that my role is actually somehow say about when it's not like behavior is not like we have agreed, for example, because sometimes it is quite hard for leaders especially, that okay, someone is actually kind of pointing out that okay, we have agreed that we do things like agile way or DevOps way, and before it is in the backbone of the organization, everybody makes mistakes, really. So, and if we are not noticing them in the everyday work, so I see that coaches work there like really, really important, that in the everyday work, we really start to, I don't like the correcting word, but really like to noticing that, okay, we made the agreement to work again, like around the DevOps principles, for example. So our behavior need to be aligned with the principles. So I think
Absolutely.
this is the most important thing in the coaching.
Yep. And with the coaching that I've been involved with, it's always been important for me to remember that there's two-way coaching. You know, part of it is us as coaches. We're helping others, we're sharing what we've learned, and not just telling them what to do, but helping lead them to the reason, help them lead to the solution to make that path a little bit easier. But personally, I'm always looking for coaches and looking for a diverse series of coaches and mentors to help me. Two of the people that have had the greatest influence on my life, One of them was a sales and marketing manager, so far away from IT, and the other was a warehouse manager. But I learned so many great practices and tips from them that I could then bring into the IT space. They've been an invaluable resource to me throughout.
Yeah, I think that's really, really good point, that you can find the coaches anywhere and any positions. So just learning from them.
Absolutely.
All right, let's look at shortly about AI.
Yes, so this is an item that has been in the news, and people are afraid, will ChatGPT and AI take our jobs? Or is it a tool that can really help us enable more successful transformations? So, Sari, what do you see the role of AI and ChatGPT in the digital transformation space?
I actually think that it's going to be the really big help. So I'm one of those people who thinks that, okay, this is going to make my job easier. And okay, this shouldn't be a surprise, but I actually used Chat GPT, some of the things what I did in this presentation, because it makes so like lots of sense for me, at least. For example, the transformation researches, I have been reading those in past years, but of course I couldn't remember the details. ChatGPT will remember the details, so I got the exact right numbers and exact right results in exact right research. So, and it took like 1 minute from ChatGPT. If I have done it, it would took me probably several hours to go through and find them all. But of course, I knew that those researches were made and I knew what to ask from ChatGPT. So I think that's going to be the thing. So specialists and experts will benefit the AI when they know what to ask, how to ask, and really get the answers in that way. So AI can be really helpful if you know what you are looking for, you have data. Actually, that's one of the big things. You really need to have a data somewhere available, somehow available. That's one of the kind of, I see the one of the biggest problems at the moment. How could we secure that if you're using your own data with AI, that it's secure? And that's one of the things I think we have to solve somehow. But it will
And
be the big help.
organizations really are struggling to set guidelines and policies around this because of exactly what you said. If we share our data with these public knowledge bases and using AI, that data is then available to everyone. So we need to be careful with how we're using it. And also remember that as you're using these technologies, it's bringing all of the information together, but it's doing it based on volume, not necessarily accuracy. So you need to be careful that the information you're building your decisions on, just like any business intelligence program, you want to make sure that the data is accurate, correct, and appropriate for what you're doing, and build your strategy on that. But you're absolutely right. This can be a huge time saver. It can help us pull conclusions or options to make some of our aspects of these transformations a lot easier.
Yeah, you're absolutely right in this. All right, then about the teams, the basic
Yep.
ones.
So we can't do any of this transformation without the teams. So let's take a deeper dive into the teams themselves and the role that teams are playing in these digital transformations. So I've found that often the people closest to the problem are the best ones to solve it. So what makes an effective team or an autonomous team at driving these transformations?
I have collected some like basic things here. and then the building blocks, and then how to actually know when the team start to be effective. So basics are like, okay, there is like a psychological fact that team can include about 9 people, little less, maybe 1 or 2 more, but not really big teams are not anymore like teams. Then there's going to be sub teams and so on. So make sure that you have a kind of enough, small enough team there. Then there has to be understanding about the strategy. So where company is going, why this team exists, and what is the goal of the team. And then extremely important, how the team will work. And then building the basic teams further is the self-motivation of the people. So self-driving and autonomous teams and people in the team. Trusting to each other and trusting the organization, leaders as well, and the other teams. Finding and providing the leadership encouragement, so right type of leading and recognizing team members inside the team and outside of the team. So really recognizing what others are doing as well. And then the effective team, you should be understanding that, okay, team is collectively responsible. Everything what they do it together. They find harmony, trust, and connection inside the team and also the outside the team. They make sure that the communication and transparency is in place inside the team and outside the team, as well as the shared goals continuously, and then the encouragement, autonomy, and expertise inside the team. So lots of different things, but not impossible. This is really what good teams look like. And I have had pleasure to work really, really excellent teams in several times. All right, Hans. What and how would you like to finalize your thoughts in all of these topics?
It's a lot to cover, and I'm glad that the attendees today are going to be able to attend so many wonderful sessions. I want you to keep in mind, leadership isn't about management. You're a thought leader, you're a role leader, you're a domain leader driving these transformations. So think about how you can not only empower yourself today, but also how you can share and empower others. Sari, what was a key takeaway point for you as we wrap up?
Well, mine is really about all together. I mean, you need everybody to change the culture, the way you work, also the tech, not forgetting that part, but really the changing the culture is all together. You need everybody involved, everybody jumping into that same train going forward towards the digital future. So all together. Thank you very much.
Wonderful lesson, Sari. Thank you for pulling this together and bringing me on this journey. If anyone has questions or wants to reach out, we're always available to help you along on this journey. And we really hope you enjoy DASA Connect today. Sari, thank you, and back to you for the close.
Thank you, Hans. This was really the pleasure. And thank you for the audience. I hope you enjoy having us today here, and I hope you learn something. Thank you very much.